So often we feel stuck and unhappy in our lives and not sure what to do to change it. In this video, we want to share with you a few tangible tips what you can start doing today to start improving your life. My name is Anne. I'm a wellness coach and a makeup artist. I help people glow inside out, build confidence, and the life of their dreams.
And I'm Jonathan. I am creator of the Better Everyday Empowerment app, where you can listen to affirmations and meditations to improve your life.
You're in for a treat today because we have a really juicy topic to uncover.
We're just going to share ways with you that you can use right now to improve your life. So for me, I think the number one way that you can start right now, tomorrow, improving your life is waking up early. And that ultimately starts with going to bed early. So you need to do yourself a favor and you need to start winding down earlier in the evening, going to bed earlier, and getting up early. If you want to get up early around 5 a.m. like I do, that gives you plenty of time before you have to go into work, to work on passion projects, to work on yourself. You know, you have your meditation, your journaling activities, you have enough time to have exercise in the morning and movement. So just by one simple task of, setting yourself to wake up early, you're able to complete so many other things with that extra time.
And if you're listening to us and thinking, but Anne and John, I'm not a morning person. Trust me, it didn't come to us naturally either. When I first started training myself to wake up at 5 a.m. because I read this 5 a.m. Club, where it explained that a lot of successful and wealthy people wake up really, really early, and that's how they are able to tackle the day and succeed. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try this out. But when I started, I literally felt jet lagged. I felt horrible, but I kept sticking to it. And after a certain amount of time, I realized, oh my gosh, this feels so amazing because it's so quiet, it's so tranquil, and you still have a lot of energy. Things haven't started yet, like, your work hasn't started, people haven't woken up yet, so you have a quiet space. And that's something special about that early morning time that really helps you focus in whatever you're doing. And I remember when I first shared it with Jonathan, he was also pushing back, like, oh no, but I get really tired in the morning. He also had to train himself, and now like he loves it too. And yeah, so try this out and push through the first initial misery, and you'll see that it's way more productive. Because if you think about it, what do you do at night, right? What do you do when you stay awake at night? You usually either watch TV, play video games, scroll on your phone. You're not really doing anything productive per se. But if you wake up extra early before work or before anybody else wakes up, you have that like hyper focused time where you can do things to contribute to your health, your success, like going to the gym, like Jonathan mentioned, meditate and journal, which also helps with your health, mental health, physical health, focus on your life. And you can also read a book, you can work on your side hustle.
One of the other things is I noticed for myself is that working on my side hustles in the evening is like impossible for me, because I go to my regular 9-to-5 job during the day, I come home, cook and eat dinner, and by the time I'm done, it's just like I'm exhausted. I just want to relax, maybe read a book, go for a walk. Like, there's nothing that my mind is able to handle that is like, important. So I can't do that extra work in the evening after I get off. So it's very important for me that I am waking up early so I have that mental focus and that time.
Speaking of sleep, by focusing on your sleep, you can also drastically improve your life. A lot of people come to me in coaching and want to lose weight, want to be more productive, want to have more energy, and they don't even realize that the lack of sleep that they're having, the fact that they're neglecting their sleep and quality and amount of sleep, is really impacting all of the things that they desire but don't want to focus on sleep. So instead of working out more, or instead of drinking more coffee to be more energetic, or sleep really affects your hormones, sleep affects your mental health, sleep affects your energy level. So if you want all of those things, if you want better hormones, better mental health, you want easier weight loss, you want just more energy and vitality and just be in a better mood, I really highly encourage you to look into your sleep.
Okay, so the next tip to drastically improve your life, this is something that you can do immediately, and this is something that I did. So when Ann and I got together, I was eating really, really bad. I was eating fast food. I had like ramen, instant noodles almost every day, and I had a lot of acid reflux. I had, indigestion. I had a lot of joint pains. My shoulder hurt really bad. And Anne was like, hey, like these foods are so bad. These are very inflammatory foods. Like she came to me and taught me like, that certain foods are inflammatory for your body and can cause joint pain. And like, I need to be drinking more water to help with my joints and digestion. And so I just immediately adapted her diet. At this point, she was eating vegan, and she encouraged me to, incorporate more vegetables and eat more whole foods. So I just went full board. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go vegan and just eat the same things. And I shit you not, almost immediately, I started feeling better. I felt more energy. I didn't have acid reflux. I didn't have any joint pain. I mean, even to this point now, like I've started eating meat again. We've incorporated, grass-fed pasture meat into our diet, and I don't have the joint pains anymore. So, like, thank you. It's it's been like you teaching me about nutrition and like a healthy diet has helped so much.
Thank you for saying that, because I do remember when we got together, Jonathan was struggling with his shoulder, and he's like, oh, nothing can help it, only surgery. And I've heard this so many times before when people have certain conditions or chronic diseases and they say nothing can help them, only like surgery, or they just have to take medication for the rest of their lives. But nutrition and lifestyle changes can really help so much, and what we put into our bodies can really impact the pains and our lifespan, our energy. So I remember like you used to love In-N-Out as well, and like and even when we got together, we ate a lot of like sugar. We loved getting boba and just cakes. And if you're thinking like, oh, I don't want to go vegan to improve my life, you don't have to go vegan. The point and the gist of this story is just to share with you the impact of nutrition and lifestyle, because today neither of us is vegan. We eat meat, chicken, like fish, everything, but we eat pasture-raised, grass-fed. We make mostly at home. We still try to eat whole food, like not food from Whole Foods, but like the food that you find in nature, like the stuff that doesn't come from packaging, not microwavable, like
no processed foods.
No processed foods, exactly. Like eat whole vegetables, like actual meat, like organic, pasture raised, and instead
wild
of
caught
like
fish too.
Yes.
We don't do farm fish. We do wild caught.
Exactly. I know it can be so convenient to get pizza, so convenient to get Taco Bell and In-N-Out, and you can also think like, oh my gosh, but this is so much cheaper. Organic stuff is like fresh vegetables and stuff like that is so much more expensive. But if you think about it, in long term, it's actually not, because if you eat junk food, you're foregoing your true potential. You are sluggish, you're sick. That ends up not just affecting how much you make, right? And also it adds up to medical bills in the future. Yeah, and all those medical bills because you're sick, because you're not feeling good, and also because like imagine if you're not sick, if you're not healthy, and if you're sick, how you are with your family, and it's just, and then you're not able to travel, and all the things. I was gonna say
just me feeling better with my like not having acid reflux, just my joints, like no pain. That is enough to it's not even that much. It's just a little increase in the price of groceries, and just not feeling the pain is worth it. So that's it. I think about diet. I think you guys got the whole gist of it. If you need a customized diet plan, or you need any help with trying to figure out what you can do to help your health or your diet or improve your nutrition, click the link below. Anne is wonderful. She helped me. She can definitely help you.
It's my favorite thing. It's my I'm so passionate about nutrition, lifestyle changes, and how it impacts your life. I'll be more than happy to guide you if this area sounds so confusing, which it can be, because something that's good for me is not necessarily good for you, and it's not necessarily good for Jonathan, and we all are so different. But letting go of junk food, drinking more just water, eating less sugar, and just like eating more whole foods versus processed food is pretty much an umbrella thing that I would recommend to anyone, and I guarantee you'll feel so much better. The next thing you can do to improve your life drastically is to watch your thoughts, to observe your thoughts, and also to notice what you say to yourself. The language you use, like, do you say when you wake up in the morning, do you go like, oh, another day, like, oh, I can't wait for, if it's Monday, I can't wait for the weekend? Do you say to yourself when you look in the mirror, like, oh, I'm so fat, why am I even existing? Like, watch your thoughts, because your thoughts really dictate how you feel and how you go about in your world. And I know in the beginning it can feel like, wait, what? I can control my thoughts? Yes, in the beginning it might feel like you can't, but when you learn to observe your thoughts, like you notice yourself saying those things, you can choose a different thought and just practice, just like with anything else. You can just practice choosing a different thought. So let's say in the morning when you wake up and you're observing yourself saying to yourself, like, you know, some negative thoughts about the day or what you're dreading at work or family, you can say, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful for this day. Thank you, universe, for a new day and new opportunities. Today is going to be a great day. Imagine how much easier it is to get out of bed when you say something like that. And when you look at yourself in the mirror, when you notice, and when you look at yourself in the mirror, when you notice negative, judgmental, critical thoughts, shift it to a different thought, like, oh, I appreciate my eyes. Oh wow, my hair has been so healthy. Because the more grateful you are about something, the more it comes. And then instead of like dreading your work, you can find something that you're grateful for at work. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful I get paid this Friday. And then that money allows me to pay for my rent, to pay for my food. Like, you see how much just like better you feel? And in the beginning, like I said, it's gonna be so hard and you might not feel those things yet, but as you practice and also lean into feeling the things that you say to yourself, like the new thoughts and new affirmations, you'll feel way better eventually.
Yeah, and it ultimately too, it doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't take any extra effort for you to just choose a positive thought.
Exactly.
It's, you know, in the long run, it's just more beneficial. Just think positive, be positive, and it doesn't hurt you, it doesn't cost you anything. So why not choose positive thoughts over the garbage that we think all the time anyways?
Exactly. And in the beginning, like I said, it can be so challenging. To me, it's still sometimes, some days, it's very still challenging to think like positive thoughts. Some days I just don't feel good, and that's why I love affirmation apps. And Jonathan actually created his own, and he has the best voice for this. So in those moments, in those days when you're still training yourself to think better thoughts, or on days when you don't feel like thinking better thoughts, you can just play affirmations, like meditate, like whether you're closing your eyes or you're cooking or you're just folding clothes, whatever you're doing, walking is even more powerful. You can listen to affirmations and just let those seeds plant in your consciousness and really train yourself to think differently. And when you think differently, when you feel differently, your life will definitely change as well.
Yeah, so, and you know, Anna's right. If you have a hard time doing that on your own, the affirmations in my app, the meditations in my app, you know, we've worked together, we've created some powerful stuff, and you know, I listen to it too when I need a little boost. So you can download it for free. If you just click the link below, I'll put a link down there below Anne's Calendly link for coaching. And so the app is called Better Everyday Empowerment, and it's available on the iOS App Store. Okay, so the next tip to improve your life is being mindful of what you are consuming. And I'm not just talking about food in this case. I'm talking about the media, the words, the images, the movies, you know, whatever it is. Be mindful of the things that you consume, because that changes your thoughts, that changes your behaviors. It influences you much more than you may realize. So if you're choosing to watch garbage reality TV, you're choosing to watch violence, you're choosing to watch negativity on the news, those are going to be your primary thoughts, those are going to be your primary feelings. So if you choose to watch wholesome, you know, good things where, you know, you're watching motivational movies, you're listening to podcasts where people are, you know, hyping you up or teaching you new lessons, like, you're just creating that sense in your mind of those positive, wholesome interactions.
Your subconscious is like a sponge. It absorbs everything that you see, that you sense, that you constantly listen to. Yeah, when when you're listening to music, that sad music that has like really negative lyrics, like, oh, why did you cheat on me? Why did you whatever, right? And then you listen to it and it brings up a lot of emotion, which is so powerful. And when you repeat that, you're actually programming yourself to attract more like that. So really be aware of what type of music you listen to, what podcast, like what are you hearing all the time? Is it the negative news? Then you're going to, if it's always negative news, then you are going to feel like you live in an unsafe world, and you're going to feel fear all the time, and ultimately you will attract more of that into your life. But if you are listening to, let's say, like really positive podcast, affirmation apps, you listen to, you watch movies that are based on true stories that are inspiring, which are my favorite, then you're like, oh my gosh, that's like, people can do it. If people like that, if he can do it, I can do it. If somebody else like survives this, I can survive anything. Then you see how, like, even when I'm talking about it, I feel so much more empowered versus, talking to you about something like really sad and somebody like cheating on somebody all the time, and like,
yeah, and you can listen to happy music too. I know, like, sometimes you don't have time to sit through an inspirational movie, but choose happy music that's not cursing and hating everybody or destroy the world, whatever it is. But just choose positivity, I guess.
Yes, and because it does matter. We can think like, oh, it's just a song, it doesn't matter. Oh, it's just a movie, it doesn't matter. But our subconscious doesn't know when it's just a song. Our subconscious doesn't know if it's just a movie. Our subconscious just sees those things, gets imprinted. We feel the feelings and we constantly think about them. Then that's going to be our reality, and we will attract more of that. When I watch murder documentaries, like women get abducted, like, of course those things happen, but then if I watch that all the time, then I'm constantly in fear, and that's how I'm going to attract it into my life. It doesn't mean that you're not aware and you don't take precautions. Just there's no need to constantly consume those things and feel the fear and like let that impact your world. Speaking of things that impact your life, also your relationships that surround you are so important. So our last tip for improving your lives is to take an inventory in what relationships you surround yourself with. What are the friends that you hang out with? What are the family members that you allow in your life? Are they always negative? When you talk to them about your goals and your desires and what you want to achieve, or the things that you learn, do they laugh at you? Really make sure you are an average of 5 people you surround yourself with. 5 people. So how much they're making is that you are the average of how much they're making. You're the average of their spiritual strength. You're the average of their weight. You're the average of everything that they embody. So really choose carefully, because they do impact you. It's the same with the media you consume, because their conversations matter. Right?
So also another thing that Anne had taught me about this, about the averages, is if you don't have people in your friend circle, or you're having difficulty finding friends that you want to average yourself with, consume podcasts or read books by the people who you would want to be friends with, and then that will ultimately bring up your average, because then you're consuming their mind. You're actually almost conversing with them. So
of course, even though like you're not really having a conversation with them, but their mindset, the things they do, because there's so many people, successful people, who share when I'm saying success.
All right, so we had to switch to a different camera because our battery died, so maybe the audio is a little bit different and the quality is a little bit different, but please bear with us, we're almost done.
The show must go on. When I say success, I don't mean, so back to media you consume. When I say success, I don't mean necessarily just material success. I mean like whatever it is that you're striving for, right? Healthier life, more travel, great business, a way of serving others, right? There's so many ways to do success, and there's so many people who share how they've done it, and they interview others who've done it. So when you're constantly listening to podcasts like that or reading books of successful people, you get to learn and you expose yourself to their life stories, to the way they're thinking, and ultimately that's what we do when we hang out with friends and family, right? Except when you hang out with friends that are negative or family who's negative, you are absorbing their negativity, you are absorbing their limited beliefs, you are absorbing their limitations in general. So imagine if I'm trying to lose weight and Jonathan is
overweight, or I eat unhealthy. Say she's trying to change her lifestyle and her eating habits, and I just go to Krispy Kreme every day and I bring home a dozen donuts, or I'm bringing home fast food every night. She isn't going to be able to maintain eating healthy if I'm not being in the same space as her to do that, to help her do that.
Exactly. And and if I say like, hey Jonathan, let's go play pickleball, I want to be more active, Jonathan will be like, no, I'd rather watch Netflix tonight and eat Krispy Kreme. And then it will be way harder for me to maintain the weight loss if Jonathan constantly brings pasta, pizza, or Krispy Kreme at home, right? Or even like, how Jonathan shared, like, just because I was so healthy, I came into his life and he became way healthier. So you can see how, like, who you surround yourself with can have a humongous impact. And that doesn't mean that you don't take responsibility for what you do in your life, because you yourself can also have a great impact on others. And Jonathan was just saying, like, I wouldn't be able to maintain, but I actually would, because I probably wouldn't choose to be with somebody who is not on the same health vibe, right? But ultimately,
we're just speaking in generalities, not like you as a person. Just like, it makes it difficult for you to maintain your goals if you are living with somebody, or you're surrounding yourself with people who are not actively trying to sabotage you, but like passively doing things that make it difficult for you to follow through with what you're doing.
Yeah. So that's why it comes back to being mindful who you choose to be in your life. Let's say if you're, just that, like, because I know some people tend to blame their partners for not being able to lose weight, or for not making whatever, like stopping them achieve their dreams. But you're choosing to be in that environment. You have the choice of being around that person or not. Doesn't matter who they are. If you really want to supercharge improving your life, hire a coach. And it doesn't have to be me, it can be anybody else. I just know that when I hired a coach, my life has changed, because I was able to see my blind spots. I'm able to have an accountability partner. I'm able to see where I'm cutting myself too much slack. I'm able to be gentle when I need to be gentle. And I'm able to dive into what's stopping me from doing the certain things that I'm stopping myself from doing. And I was really challenged to get myself out of the comfort zone and really take consistent steps. And that's why I'm so passionate about giving back this very gift, because I've seen what a difference a coach, a therapist can make in your life. So if you need help, if you need somebody to walk through this journey with you, to call you out on your BS with love, to guide you in this confusing relationship, nutrition, health world, keep you accountable, to keep you consistent, I'm more than happy to help you. My Calendly link is below, like Jonathan mentioned. Click it to schedule a free 30 minutes consultation call with me to see how my coaching can benefit you. And I look forward to seeing you.
Click it.
We hope this video was helpful. We know we threw a lot at you, but believe in you.
Yeah, ultimately, the intent is we just want to share the information that we've learned. Anne is a wealth of knowledge about how to improve your life. And, I try my best to listen to podcasts that she sends me and find stuff on my own and read books and stuff. So I'm learning slowly, but I'm getting there. So
you're doing well, baby.
Thank you. Our intent is to just share ways to improve your life, and hopefully some of these things work and you can try it, and maybe you have some things that you want to share with us that we can adopt and we can start using to improve our lives. So
because we've been there, I've been there, where I hated my life, where I didn't feel good, when my health wasn't good. I didn't like my work, I didn't like how I felt, I didn't like my life, I didn't like my relationship. So, and Jonathan has been there, I believe too, right? So we know the pain, and that's why we created these tools. Like Jonathan created the app and I'm in coaching, because we're so passionate about helping others feel the way we get to feel today. So yeah, thank you for watching.
Thank you guys, we appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye. Guys. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. This video is going to be
6 tangible tips on how to improve your life today
immediately
for free.